So many of us go into private practice and we are those dreaming entrepreneurs. We're done with being an employee. I want to be an employer. I want to create my own company culture. I want to attract high quality therapists. I want to slow things down, maybe treat one-on-one, high quality one-on-one patient care, see one patient an hour, or all kinds of thoughts and ideas of how you're going to do it better. And I applaud you for that. You should. You should grab the bull by the horns, move from the passenger seat of your professional career to the driver's seat of your career. However, from my position of 33 years being in this business and talking to practice owners and their struggles, challenges, obstacles, barriers, situations is what I really call them. I don't ever see things as problems. If a hurricane's bearing down on you, that's a problem. But outside of that, these are just situations. So what are the most typical or what are the most common situations that I see practice owners or I hear from practice owners on the phone when they're doing their coaching with me? I can tell you what, it's typically not about getting more new patients. Getting more new patients is as easy as turning a faucet on and off. Literally 60% of your new patients should come from return business, number one, because of the great care that you're giving. Number two, you have external thoughts and ideas, feelings, and implications that have to go on out in your community. And I really do mean feelings and inferences and implications because you're creating a perception. You're creating a connection with your community. You're doing charitable events. You're doing festivals. You're making relationships and forming relationships with the support groups, with the book clubs, with the senior centers, with every social network that you can, face-to-face, person-to-person. So check that box. Thirdly, obviously social media, SEO, digital innovations on your website, things like that where you can have greater level of engagement. So let's set that aside. That's not it. That's definitely not it. Where it comes from is the revenue, the profit. I'm working harder and longer and making less than if I was working for somebody else. I hear that. I have a good problem to have. I'm so overwhelmed with patients. I've got a 3-week waiting list. No, that's not a good problem to have. That is going to trash your perception out in the community and cut off your referral sources because you're not able to provide the services that you're promising. If you're in business and you're promising good clinical care, you have to make yourself available to bring people in a timely manner that's in the best interest of their care, that's in best interest of their condition. So by them sitting on hold waiting 3 weeks to come see you, they're going to go somewhere else. So what is it that I really want to hone in on in this message here today in this episode? It's literally about too slow, too little, too late. Too slow, too little, too late leads to too much worry. Too slow. You're too slow to pull the trigger on the next phase of your business development, on the next thing that you have to do. And let me give you an example. You'll open up your practice and you'll typically learn from us that about 45 visits is break even. So you're going to answer your phones, checking your patients, clean your tables, get your equipment, work out the home programs, treat your patients, design the plan of care, send it out, get everything in your EMR system that you need to do in the very early beginning. I get that. Hopefully you outsource your patient registration and front desk services so that you don't have to be doing so much of that. Hopefully you've outsourced your billing, so your insurance verifications, authorizations, claims out the door, posting the cash that's coming in, following up on the collections with the monthly statements is not on your plate. So somewhere around month 2, month 3, right in the early beginning, you got all that admin function wired up because you got it all set up. You're now just treating the patients and marketing and treating the patients and marketing. Well, you get overrun, and you get overrun because you're up to about 60, 65, 70, 75 visits a week. And you haven't even begun hiring, or you haven't put an honest attempt into hiring. Look, too slow. You're too slow to pull the trigger to put a new therapist in there with you or a part-time therapist in there with you. Or you're too little. You went with a PTA when you should have went with a doctor of physical therapy. Too little of an effort, too little of a level of exchange for what it is you're trying to accomplish. You want to build your practice with PT1, PT2, PTA3, and tech. Tech can come before everybody else because they can help you with all of the administrative functions and the clinical care that you're delivering. But you're going to have that administrative support. The tech can't hold everything down, but they will help with the forward-facing check-in, over-the-counter collected, and maybe scheduling out the full plan of care for your evals. But other than that, they're going to be a Swiss Army knife working with you on projects and social and Google reviews and success stories and things of that nature. So very, very good for you to start with yourself, for you to bring in a very helpful tech to help you with those features and functions I just shared with you. But by the time you're up over 45, 55 visits a week, you need to start hiring. Once you get up to 60, 65 visits a week, there's no time for you to do anything else. And you're going to start praying for cancellations. And you're going to start trying to find room in your schedule or work nights and weekends to get your notes done. Now you're going to have this suppressive attitude on your own practice that you're trying to build. Here's the thing. You'll tell me, owners tell me, well, Brian, when I have the visits for somebody to walk into, then I'll hire them. I don't want to be upside down on payroll. I'm like, are you kidding? Of course you have to be upside down on payroll, but you have to limit that to a month, maybe 2 at best. You're going to dump 35% of your caseload on this incoming therapist so that they're 35% of the way there. And every morning you walk into that office and you see that schedule and you see those openings. You're like, oh my gosh, I have to get this person busy. I have to get out there and market. I have to do this. I have to. That's your necessity level kicking in. You're building a business. So too slow, too little, like you didn't act fast enough in that process. You did too little of efforts. You didn't put in the efforts that you really should have put in, and you were late. You're late to the game. So now you're late on collecting that revenue for the size of the business you're at that moment in time. And now you start to get worried. Okay. So if you literally act when you're up over 85% maximally efficient and get that DPT in there, you have that necessity level. So you're not operating too little, but you're really going in a high level of operations to get that person full. And you're not too late in terms of your marketing efforts. You need to stay on top of the marketing efforts and stay in front of that business for growth. Here's a mental, I'm going to leave you with this mental attitude. If you approach each and every day with the mental attitude that I'm in the business of marketing my business, I'm in the business of growing my business, I'm not in the business of physical therapy. I'm not coming to work who's a physical therapist who happens to be a business owner. That's the wrong start of your day. That's the wrong mental attitude. I want you to come to work every day like I'm a practice owner who's building a business and I happen to be a therapist. Every single therapist I get full-time in my office on average is going to bring in between $4,000 to $5,000 a week. So you shouldn't have anything else as a major priority other than superlative patient care, great company culture, and building that business with more production staff so that you could help more people in your community, which is the main reason why you went to PT school to begin with. How many people can I help achieve optimum health? And what can I do to deliver the highest quality care with each and every engagement? Mental attitude, the subconscious beingness of you, is what drives the action. It's thought first, action as a result of your thought. So let's get down to the business of not getting behind the 8 ball. Let's stay out in front of it. Trust me, the patients will come. You will have a great message, a great quality of services being delivered. Put a jersey on every single one of those patients as they're walking out the door. Please tell 3 or 4 people that you know that I might be able to help. Please don't forget about referring to us and putting us in touch with your loved ones, because that's what we're here for. Have your script, have your messaging so that each and every patient is supporting your practice and supporting your efforts. And get those success stories along the way. Don't just wait till the end. So I threw a lot at you here in this episode, but I wanted you to understand it's a little bit of a combination of everything. Most importantly, though, it's you. It's you not falling behind and acting too slow, doing too little of efforts, and basically thinking about things too late. Like you're coming to the game a little late with your thought process. I want you to be exercising your thoughts about where you want to be 3 to 6 months from now. That's what a good CEO is developing on. They're doing actions today that they want the yielded results in the next 6 months. And that should be you. So I hope this was helpful. I know you can do it. It's all within your power. And if you need any help, we're always here. Just check us out at megbusiness.com. Thank you for listening.